I remember when I used to struggle with, my porn addiction, my video games addiction. I remember when I had like 800 hours in GTA San Andreas, and I struggled with especially those two things. Those were my two struggles that I have dealt with in my life. Of course, like I'm not, because I struggle with some minor things. Because I'm not a superhuman, right? But though struggling with something is important when you want to make progress in any part of your life, right? You're gonna struggle with something, and problems are going to be there. But don't beat yourself when you don't beat yourself in the head when those troubles and you're gonna struggle. Don't beat yourself. Oh, you're worthless because you struggle. This person probably doesn't have any struggles and he's successful. No. But before I start talking about this further, if you don't know me, my name is Christian, just a normal guy who wants to improve. Subscribe, like, comment, share, all this bullshit. But yeah, let's start. Imagine all of the important, rich people in all of the humanity. I'm not saying in like this world, but in all of the humanity, they had to struggle. Like, if you want to make progress in anything, in your finances, in your fitness journey, in your social life, you are going to struggle. Because if you've been a person who was down bad like me, who was addicted from pornography, video games, who also was socially anxious, was constantly overthinking, I struggled many times to get rid of it. I struggled to get rid of it. But what's important is to realize that you're going to fail a bunch of times. Because if you've been a person who was addicted to pornography for your whole life, if you watched porn and masturbated to pornography for like me 7-8 years, you're not gonna suddenly get rid of this addiction by 1 month, and you're gonna struggle. Do you realize that breaking addictions, like, it's like it takes time. It takes time to get rid of it. You're gonna relapse a bunch of times. You're gonna play video games a bunch of times. You're gonna, I don't know, any addictions. You're gonna smoke, drink, etc. You're gonna struggle with it. But what's also most important is that you genuinely want to change. This is important. You don't embrace those struggles. Don't beat yourself because you relapsed, because you played video games for fucking 10 hours straight, because you drink alcohol, because you smoke cigarettes or vapes or whatever you smoke this nowadays. If you want to change, you're going to struggle. You know, if you've been fat for all your life, do you think that your fat on your body is suddenly is going to, like, is gonna be gone by like next day? Of course not. You're gonna struggle. You're probably gonna cheat on your meals, but this is what makes you the person who you are going to be, because you are going to learn from your failures and realize that failing is part of the process, because it is the part of the process. Failing is part of the process. Struggles are part of the process. And it all comes down to this one word: process. Journey, because this is your journey. Not everyone starts from the same point. Not everyone starts everyone starts from the different points, right? You start from this point and another person starts from this point. Maybe person A, so for example, the person A is you. You've been addicted to pornography, video games. Okay, yeah. You've been addicted to pornography, video games. You were socially anxious with girls, with people in general. You were constantly overthinking, and your social life was just shit, right? You are a person A, right? But the person B, who didn't have any addictions, who didn't have any problems with people in general, you start from different places. So he obviously going to be a little bit of ahead of you, because you need to get rid of you need to put fundamentals to start to improve, right? Remember, if you struggle with something, that's okay. You're gonna struggle. If you start, I don't know, you want to lose weight and you are doing this for the first time, of course you're gonna struggle. If you've been fat for your whole life, right? If you struggle with, I don't know, your mission, your goal, because you don't know what it is. That's okay. You're going to eventually find it, right? We need to try various things in order to find the things that you want. If you want to be a professional chess player, if you want to be the best chess player in the world, like, who stops you, bro? If you want to be a professional UFC fighter, this is your mission. You want to be the UFC fighter, you want to win. You want to win fights or belts or whatever you win. I don't watch it. But if you genuinely want to do it, like, who's stopping you? You don't have. The only thing that is stopping you is the only one that is stopping you is only yourself and your excuses and the things that are distracting you, right? But struggling, you're gonna struggle in your self-improvement journey. You're going to relapse. You're going to cheat. You're going to cheat on your diet. You're going to do this, do that. You're going to be you're going to be some kind of autistic with people. And I talk from experience. You know how many times I cheat on my diet? I of course do it less nowadays because I take lessons from those failures. I of course like sometimes get autistic with people, but I learn from this and I know how to prevent those situations. Because I learn from my mistakes and because I learn from my mistakes, yeah. I don't know what I want to say there. But yeah, if you struggle with something, realize that, okay, maybe I'm gonna give you an actionable step here. Okay, write down on a piece of paper, maybe like, okay, there's a piece of paper here. Write down in what you struggle, right? Write down. Sorry for a little cut, but yeah. Write down with what you struggle. So it could be your addiction, pornography, video games. You maybe struggle to lose weight, whatever, right? Whatever you struggle with. And write down what are you going to do to get rid of those struggles. Of course, like, struggling is important to improve, but what I mean by that is what are you going to, how are you going to, how do I even say this? Okay, you've written down the things that you struggle with. You struggle with pornography, let's say, for example. Okay? And what are your plans for this? Like, what are you going to do what are you going to do, for example, yeah, as I said, with pornography, what are you going to do to prevent the relapses, right? What are you going to do with this? So for example, you're gonna be more outdoors. You're gonna, I don't know, you're gonna just find your goal and work on this, and you're gonna fap less every day. You know, those type of things. You just need to have the plan for your struggles. If you struggle with something, realize that this is like that you don't have a plan for this, right? If you struggle with pornography or struggle with losing weight, like, why are you struggling with this? Why are you struggling with this? And write down the plan to get rid of those struggles. Like, why are you not losing weight? Or because I eat more, because I move less, right? Simple as that. So yeah, this was the actionable step. I don't have a script, so I kind of, sound like a broken record here. But yeah, sorry for that. Let's just summarize. Struggling is a part of the process. You're going to struggle, but what's important is that you need to learn from those struggles. And as I said in the actionable step, if you struggle with something, write down on a piece of paper what are you struggling with, and how are you going to fix it. Simple as that. What else can I say? Yeah, struggling is a part of the process. You're gonna struggle, but don't beat yourself up because you relapsed, because you eat shit foods, because you watched porn, because you played video games. Don't beat yourself for it. Write down what are you struggling with and fix it. Simple as that. Don't beat yourself up. People tend to over-exaggerate things, but people tend to over-exaggerate things because, oh, I've done this, I cannot, you know what I mean. Okay, like, you've done the bad habit, you watch porn, you play video game, you play video game for like 10 hours, you eat shit food, like, okay, bro, you've done it, like, you cannot change the past, bro. Simple as that. If you struggle with this more, just write down on a piece of paper what are you struggling with and how you can fix it. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My Instagram's in the description. If you want to support my work, there's a link to buy me a coffee. And if you're a guy who struggles with porn addiction, trust me, brother, be there. Send me friend request on Discord and I can help you with this. But yeah, stay hard, because nobody will save you. The only person who can save you is the person I'm pointing right now. Peace out.